Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gad, your host. A viewer requested the full life purpose analysis. That's what we're going to do now. So what you're going to hear me do now is input the information. The first voice you're going to hear is a numerologist, and we'll see what happens after that. All right, always double check the information. Give me one moment. Okay, so the next voice you hear will be the numerologist.
Hi, Rosemarie. Thanks for requesting your free numerology reading here at numerologist.com. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a quick yet deeply revealing analysis of your unique numerology chart based on your given name and date of birth. Rosemarie, there are 5 elements that form the core of your chart and that most massively impact your life. They are the life path, birthday number, soul urge, expression, and personality number. And by intimately understanding your numbers, you'll uncover many fascinating truths about who you are, how others perceive you, and the unique opportunities that lay ahead. The most important number in your numerology chart is your life. It reveals your most fulfilling life direction and the major lessons you're here to learn. It highlights the specific opportunities and challenges you'll encounter and your unique personality traits that will help you on your journey. Your life path is calculated by simply adding up the digits of your date of birth. Your life path number is a 2, and this tells me a lot about you. Rosemarie, you are a sensitive soul with an amazing imagination. You have off-the-charts emotional intelligence, refined intuition, extreme perceptiveness, and the ability to truly connect and understand those around you. You're the world's best secret keeper, and your kind and cooperative nature makes you a fantastic friend, parent, and partner. While you have the tendency to be a bit of a perfectionist, it's only because you sincerely want the best for yourself and others and see the potential for greatness in everyone you meet. You have the rare gift of persuasion and can inspire those around you without force. You're often accused of being too quiet, but that's because you spend more time listening than stroking your own ego. You exhibit a silent yet spiritually evolved power that allows you to remain balanced and fair in stressful situations. You have the innate ability to create harmony, lead with compassion and empathy, and encourage those around you. Do this, and you'll effortlessly achieve your full life path potential. Next, let's look at what is known as your expression. This is another extremely important element in your numerology chart, as it highlights your natural talents and abilities, many you likely didn't know you had. It's often called the destiny number because it reveals a great deal about your potential and what you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. While your life path is calculated using your date of birth, your expression is calculated by analyzing the letters of your full name at birth. Why your name? It represents the inheritance of your personal history up to the moment of your birth. Each letter and corresponding number, like a mosaic, combine to form the complete picture of who you are and who you're meant to be. Your name at birth is said to be the blueprint of your potential. To get a free personalized expression reading based on your full name, please enter it below.
Alrighty, give me a moment and I will do that. Alright, he's calculating. You'll hear his voice soon.
Hey again. I'm so glad you decided to stick around and get your personalized expression reading based on your full name at birth. As you'll see for yourself in just a moment, your expression number, or what is sometimes referred to as your destiny number, is one of the most telling elements in your numerology chart. Unlike your life path number, which uncovers your most fulfilling life direction and the major lessons you're meant to learn along the way, your expression number produces a highly potent and accurate profile of who you are and the magic you put out into the world. It reveals the innate gifts you were born with and predicts your ultimate potential. Your expression number is calculated by adding up all the digits that correspond to the letters of your birth name using the Pythagorean alphabet. It can be a bit time-consuming to do the math by hand, so I took the liberty of calculating and interpreting your expression number for you. Rosemarie, based on my calculations, your expression number is 8. And after getting to know you a bit better, it's really no surprise. 8 is the number of achievement. You're likely to achieve success more easily than anyone else. You're a managerial and organizational genius with strong intellect and determination. Your greatest gift is your confidence and ability to move the needle quickly. You probably found that failure only knocks at your door when others get in the way of your objectives. People often look to you for motivation and direction, and these are keys to your own success, so keep it up. Because you move faster than most, you get easily frustrated by delays or inaction, and often take on more work in order to compensate. In order to avoid stress, remember to slow down and take a step back from time to time. Funnel that abundant energy into yourself and your relationships and watch the tension and resistance fade away. You have a rare gift of achieving outstanding results. Continue to temper your discipline and ambition with patience and compassion, and you'll experience thrill, happiness, and success in all you do. Rosemarie, please know that there is still so much left to explore in your unique numerology chart. And if you'll allow me, I'd like to give you even more insight into your life, relationships, and true purpose by analyzing your soul urge number. Your soul urge number, also called your heart's desire number, represents the inner you. It exposes your hidden motivations, deepest cravings and urges, likes and dislikes. It reveals the true intention behind most of your actions and decisions. In just a minute, you'll discover your soul urge number and meaning. But first, to make sure this reading is as customized and accurate as possible to your current life circumstances, I just need a bit more information from you. Please go ahead and enter it now below. You'll also see that we ask for your email address. This is so we can send you written transcripts of your personalized reading, so you can refer back to anytime you'd like. When you enter your email address, you'll also become part of our thriving community and receive regular updates, special invites, and content from our panel of expert columnists. This is completely optional, but we'd hate to see you miss out on the few surprises we have planned for you. So if you'd like to stick with us, leave your best email address below. Then, please double-check that the information you entered is accurate, and then click the Continue with my free reading button to dive even deeper into your numerology chart.
Okay, he's calculating. He'll be right with you. Give him a moment. He's calculating.
I've got all the information I need to complete your personalized numerology reading, and you guessed it, I saved the best for last. Now, a word of caution. The information I'm about to share with you is incredibly intimate and may raise a hair or two. Most people are often shocked at the accuracy of these readings, and I think you will be too after you hear the intriguing truths I've discovered about your personality, hidden motivations, and true purpose. If you choose to listen on, do so with an open mind, and this insight is sure to bring you immeasurable rewards. I'll start by examining your soul urge number. Your soul urge, also called your heart's desire, shows what your soul needs to grow and evolve in life and relationships. Like your expression number, it's derived from assigning numerical values to the letters of your full birth name using the Pythagorean alphabet. Except, in the case of your soul urge, you look only at the vowels. Here's why. Consonants are pronounced with sharp edges and have a definitive beginning or end. They represent your public personality and the traits you outwardly share with the world. On the other hand, vowels are pronounced from free-flowing breath and have softer edges. They represent the true, tender, and often hidden you, and reveal your deepest soul urges, many you likely didn't know you had. The famous Renaissance doctor, translator, and astrologer Marsilio Ficino devoted much of his life to studying the incredible ways one's life improves when he or she follows the promptings of the soul. The benefits he encountered were undeniable. So, are you curious to know what your soul urge says about you? After analyzing the vowels of your full birth name, I've discovered that your soul urge number is 3. Whether you know it yet or not, you have a smile that lights up the world and a magnetism that everyone is drawn to. You are friendly, outgoing, sensitive, and fun. One of your greatest assets is your imagination. You have a strong calling to express yourself through singing, writing, acting, music, or public speaking. You have contagious enthusiasm, wit, and charm that others find inspiring. You're talkative, somewhat extravagant, and enjoy being in the spotlight more often than not, but by no means are you an attention hog. In fact, it's your soul's urge to light up those around you. Because of your sensitive nature, you tend to doubt yourself and worry about what others think more than you know you should. This can leave you feeling a bit down and uninspired. Remember to see yourself the way others do, and there's no doubt that you'll achieve the vibrance, creativity, and joy your soul craves. When it comes to relationships, you are a hopeless romantic. You pull all the stops to earn the attention and love of that special someone. You're not afraid to put yourself out there and express your true feelings, so you easily feel rejected when the object of your affection is not immediately responsive to your advances. Despite countless heartbreaks, you always rebound quickly and never find yourself single for long. But that's not all I've discovered about you. Like an onion, you have many, many layers, and after digging a little deeper into your numerology chart, I can see that you have plenty of unique traits and personality quirks left to explore. Rosemarie, my impression of you is that you aren't as relaxed as you should be. I sense a lot of nervous energy and that your mind is always going in a million different places. That isn't to say you aren't confident, because I think you actually have a great deal of self-esteem and are quite expressive. I envision you doing some sort of physical activity as a way to clear your head, perhaps dancing, walking, yoga, or some sort of aerobics. I see you as very feminine, cultured, and powerful, and not at all a wild woman. I sense you are a very kind and giving person and probably couldn't play bad cop if you tried. Although sometimes you give too much and don't get much back. The trick is to find balance in your relationships. I think you have an investigative mind. I wouldn't call you naive or oblivious. In fact, you don't miss much, but sometimes you can be a bit of a dreamer, which may lead to some impractical decisions. I get the sense that you are very family and community-oriented. You enjoy being around and helping others, and you will thrive in marriage. It's likely that you've been with many different types of men, but through no fault of your own, you've attracted men that really didn't deserve you or appreciate what you had to offer. I suspect you have either a failed marriage or a long-term relationship behind you. This man wasn't ready to put you first in his life, which left you feeling frustrated. I also sense that you've been with a man in the past who was more of a best friend. While he cared for you very much, was able to provide for you, and gave you emotional security, the lust and passion was missing in a relationship, which is why it ended. Now, you tend to be quite selective with whom you choose to be with, but feel immense gratitude for everything you've learned about yourself through your past relationships. You have transformed into a stronger and more independent person. I sense that you are much more self-reliant and non-judgmental than you once were. Rosemarie, because you're so young at heart, I get the feeling that you attract a lot of younger men, but there seems to be too much of a generation gap to interest you. They're still into the whole bar scene, and you've been there, done that. I don't think you're into the drinking type. It's likely that your friends have tried to play matchmaker in your life at one time or another, and you've probably been on at least one blind date. But at this point, you'll always know very quickly whether there's potential for a relationship, and it's rarely there. While many people, especially your family members, wonder if you'll ever get married, I sense that you will. You will meet your soulmate when you least expect it, and he will be unlike any man you've dated before. You will feel inspired by this person, and will experience things you wouldn't ordinarily experience. I picture your future husband as someone who is a nurturer, a man who is mellow and sensitive, like a big teddy bear who has already sown all of his oats. This man will be ready to put you first. He will be your counterpart and will love your strength and sensuality. There will be fireworks with this man, although he was a bit intimidated by you at first. I see you with children, either biological or adopted, and I believe there are exciting things in store for you over the next 9 years. They will be far more rewarding than the last 9. Just be sure to let go of any excess baggage and cut the cords to any past relationships that are no longer serving you. You are in complete control of your destiny. This may be hard to believe, but the information I've shared with you over the last few minutes barely scratches the surface of...
Okay, now what he's going to tell you about is everything he's going to tell you about. He's going to send you an email saying the exact same thing, so you can check that email out as well. All right, now we're going to get into the natal chart, which to me is the most important information you'll have. I don't want to call it a document. It's the most important information you'll have is your natal chart, because everything's on there as well. All right, just give me a second because I'm doing a few things. And then we'll go right into the natal chart. And you've probably been looking at the natal chart through the whole report that the gentleman just did, but now we're going to explain it. And I already counted it with the system. Your first house is what the EP is. Now your ascendant is in, which is actually going to be your 12th house. So you just got to know how to count it. You got to count it. I count it with the system. And the system is where you see medium coeli, that is your 10th house. And I counted it all the way around because you have 12 houses on your chart. So we got to do it that way. And I count it with the system. So we're not going to go ascendant first house because that would be wrong. That would make you out of count. You got to go with the system. Your 10th house is definitely where medium coeli is. And Jupiter is also number 10 because it's in the 10th house. So we try to, it's very important you get the count correct. Alrighty, now got a couple other things I want to do first. Now I just want to explain to a lot of people that it's very important to take notes, because what happens, a lot of people get information and and they don't really listen. But if I've explained it in the natal chart, see, I don't mind the questions because that's understandable. It might be questions, but if I've already explained it in the natal chart, it's very unlikely I'm going to explain it again. Like you have to, if you don't have time or whatever the case might be, you have to make time so that you can have to understand it, because it's not going to help you. You have to learn how to read your natal chart, because whenever you get any type of reading, it's going to refer you back to your natal chart. So you gotta get familiar with it by studying it, taking notes. My job is to try to be as thorough as possible. But like I said, if there are questions that I didn't answer or something, that's fine. But I do try to be as thorough as possible. But I can't answer questions that I've already answered in the natal chart. It's already been explained. Alrighty. So now, like I said, we're just going to start with the first house, which is your East Point. That EP is East Point, or your East Point in regard to the sun. It's sun and energy. Your first house still describes your personality. Usually your ascendant is in your first house or your rising sign. But in your case, your ascendant is in your 12th house. So your rising sign will be Sagittarius. Your ascendant, which kind of, your first house is really your personality. And again, because the ascendant is usually in the first house, they consider that your personality. But the universe knows what it's doing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm just trying to explain it in such a way you understand it. But your personality would be that Capricorn. And Capricorn is kind of detail oriented, kind of business oriented. And is ruled by Saturn, so kind of likes to know. Saturn likes to make sure everything is like, when's this going to happen, when that's going to happen. But we're going to do your 12th house with it because your ascendant, which is usually in the first house, is in your 12th house. So your ascendant also plays off your personality a little bit, which makes you once again sociable. So your person is going to be kind of really conscious about what people think, social stuff like that. Anything with sociableness, what people think. And and Sagittarius also, they're kind of like good friends, they're good listeners, they're good healers. So your 12th house deals with a lot at the end of the day. It is Pisces, so it's spiritual. And then Pisces can also be psychic. It just depends. You got Neptune right there so close. It's not on the border, but it's so close, so you're going to feel that energy. Now, Neptune rules Pisces, and then Neptune is retrograde, which is going to be dealing with past life stuff, your dreams, your subconscious. But I'd rather wait till we get to that house to stay. And then you got the moon there, and then you got Scorpio. So yeah, so you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of stuff going on. So the universe is doing something with you where they're balancing out this energy. And I can already tell. So you have to wait till I get to the house because it'll become evident because I can, I can see it, but I don't. I like it to be shown. I like it to be shown as opposed to me saying it. That way nobody can accuse me of, oh, why'd you say that? So we're gonna wait till we get there. But you can already see you definitely got some stuff going on where they're carrying energy, especially from your 11th house to your 12th house to your first house, and they're carrying this energy. So we're not gonna deal with your 11th house yet. We're gonna deal with your 12th house, and we'll probably end up coming back to your 12th house. But everything's in your 12th house. Things that are in your 8th house, which is like the underworld, they can be revealed in your 12th house, which is like our world. But as I said, it's just better to go around the chart first and get an idea of what's going on. So for right now, that's the best I can do in the 12th house. But we will be coming back to your 12th house. Your second house is Aquarius. Aquarius is kind of creative, but they do things to help the community around them. So you're like a very social person. Almost everything about you is going to be like a social person. Because Aquarius really likes to help the community. And that's in your second house of possessions and finances. So you may have or will obtain some possession, some finances directly related to you helping some type of way, teaching or helping, because that's what Aquarius does. It really tries to make the community around it help, or the people around it. You could say community, you could say people. See, now we start getting a better understanding because in your third house of communications ruled by Gemini, this is communication. This is younger education. This is like younger children. It's creativity. It could be a travel or fun. It's a lot like the third house is a lot like the fifth house ruled by Leo. Third house is ruled by Gemini. And then right away you got Pisces there, and that is your true north node. So your true north node is what you should be working on in this house. So now you understand your 12th house better. So you are some type of healer, which we're not done analyzing that because we're going to go back to the 12th house, but you're some type of healer, and you're definitely you're here for the people. And you have communication skills of healing. And I have to let everybody know, when you get your natal chart, remember your natal chart began the day you were born, and it'll go to the day you leave this planet. But a lot of stuff may have happened already, didn't happen, or might be about to happen, or going to happen in the future. And it's also divine timing, because I know a lot of cases where people got their chart done right at that moment when they needed it. So it's always up to the universe. And that's why I try to make that clear to people. My job is just to tell you what I see on the charts and to help out where I can. But this is really about you and the universe. That's why it's so important that you take your chart seriously, just like you would take anything else you believe in seriously, and learn it, because it's not that difficult. Even if it's a 2-hour video, I mean, cut the time up. But you especially want to learn it. And it can, like I said, in cases where there's some type of urgent need, I would definitely take that into consideration. But if I've done the chart and explained it, then it's really up to each person to really learn the charts. And it's not that difficult because you have a person going house by house explaining it to you. Now, Pallas is that asteroid you see next to the true north node. The true north node looks like a horseshoe. Don't worry about the aura. All true north nodes are supposed to be retrograde, so it doesn't matter that it has an aura. I have seen true north nodes without the aura, but I was taught that every true north node it has an aura. It's a retrograde whether it has one or not. So that's no big deal. Pallas is the asteroid of self-defense. So it can also represent having like people help you, whether it be spiritual people, spirit people, supernatural people, or even humans, whatever it might mean by. But it tends to have to do with defense. So in your third house, you're dealing with some type of communication, some type of spiritual communication, some type of teaching and encouragement, and being a spiritual person, and maybe even psychic. And that's really your third house. Now, your first house again was the EP with Capricorn. That first house is ruled by Aries. So now what they're doing with you, they're putting Capricorn, because of Aries energy, they're putting Capricorn in your Cancer. Now, I always tell people when I see a unique Capricorn in Cancer, you have a free report you're getting. It explains astrology, answers a lot of questions, and again, that's something else people should really take seriously. Look at, gives you a lot of helpful websites on numerology, and also there's a link called Capricorn, Cancer, the gods, people that are sent here, not just born here, but they're sent here. Now, the person that teaches that is called Santos, and I give you his links, and I refer everybody to two of his videos. That one, he's sitting in a car with his hat on, and he's talking about these things, and then he has another video where he's standing in front of a looks like an astrological board, or a board with astrological stuff on it. And I think he explains the connection between Cancer and Capricorn and the gods and that, because he's the expert on that. So that's why I always refer everybody to him. Now, I've had some people say they couldn't find it. I had some people say the video's been taken down. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was in an accident where I could have lost my life, and it's been held since then. The insurance company of these people are crazy. Their clients at fault. This insurance company, they are very difficult to deal with. So I have been definitely in no position to try to do any type of research or nothing. Just dealing with all these different people and all the craziness involved. So that's something I would really like pursue Santos if you want that answer, because again, he's the one that came up with that teaching. But you can tell it's unique because your fourth house is ruled by Cancer, but they're putting Capricorn in your fourth house through Aries, because Aries is your first house with Cancer. So they're doing the universe is doing a whole lot of stuff with you, but at the end of the day, it's going to have to do with healing. Because I don't know what your career is, I don't know what your life is, but this is all about healing. And again, like I said, I'll leave it at that. But if an angel was sent here, an angel might have been sent here to heal. Just like the insurance guy that keeps trying to run me around the loops, I'm letting him know, which I am. I'm an ordained minister. And I'm asking this guy what his religious faith is. And he's getting really uncomfortable. Because the things you're doing is definitely out of harmony with your faith. And he didn't really like that. But I put him on notice that you better worry more about pleasing God than this little job you got. Jobs are gonna come and go. So people are sent. Maybe I was sent to meet this guy and maybe get on a better career. If your career is defrauding old people, and I'm talking about my mother especially, old people and stuff like that are ripping people off, you might want to get another career, especially if you claim to be serving a so-called Messiah and Savior and all that. So maybe I was sent. Maybe I was sent to this guy to help him readjust his walk, since he claims to be that. Who knows? Now, so they're taking Capricorn energy with Aries and putting it in this house. Aries is forward motion. Aries is forward motion, very focused. And now that Aries energy, see that they're mixing Capricorn with they're mixing Cancer, the fourth house. The ruler of the fourth house is Cancer. They're mixing Cancer with Capricorn through Aries. So you got a very unique connection, which is why I'm trying to tell you about Santos. Now the fourth house is about family, higher education, land and property, vehicles. You can even say travel, health, especially the heart. That's the fourth house. But the unique thing about the fourth house is called Imum Coeli. And that is whatever person played the mother position in raising you, that is your Imum Coeli. Now, if there's somebody that was raised by a man, or uncle, or dad, or whoever, that would still be Imum Coeli. And that person is going to be in subconscious. And you have to understand the universe is going to use that person throughout your life. And that's why you hear so many comedians doing mother jokes, and Sigmund Freud talking about the mother and all that, because she's Imum Coeli. And the divine feminine is going to speak through her, through your consciousness, your subconsciousness. That's why your fourth house is ruled by Cancer, and the moon rules Cancer, and the moon makes Cancer motherly and nurturing. So this is all going on in your house, and you may have been somewhat of the motherly type in your family. You might have been somewhat of the nurturer. So they really, really, really connected you. And I don't know if you have any type of connection to the Catholic Church, because you had a Mother Mary, but it would be a kind of connection like that. It could be, any other religion too, but it's kind of like they're really making you out to be kind of like a really sent to help. And this is all energy. That's why people don't understand. That's why you could resonate. And most people are not going to understand what I'm trying to say. But if you have this type of connection and I'm trying to tell you, you almost can feel it. Like when people are doing Hail Marys or doing stuff like that, you could feel it because you're sharing that energy. And I've seen it on charts before. But like people don't want to really talk about the metaphysics. So I try to stay away because people are not ready for it. But it's the metaphysics. That's why Jesus said the mysteries of the kingdom. Now it doesn't stop there. See, you said you have the asteroid Chiron, and Chiron is a female. She's a healer. So again, you got that healing, nurturing energy. Aquarius wanting to help the community type thing, and then the asteroid Curious is another nurturer. So you got all this nurturing going to really help. And I think the gentleman mentioned that in your numerologist report. And then you have the nerve to have part of fortune connecting your fourth house to your fifth house. They keep trying to find a way to connect all your houses together. Not that they are, but they are. The universe is really trying its best to keep all your houses divinely connected. So now, what we have to do is read part of fortune, but only for the sake of simplicity. We're going to keep part of fortune in your fourth house, but part of fortune is really on that border at 0. So it's really at your fourth and fifth house. We will do Saturn, and I may. It all depends on how the spirit leads me. I'm definitely going to do a part of fortune in Aries, but we may end up doing in Taurus as well. But we'll see. But we'll definitely do part of fortune in Saturn because it is bordering the fourth and fifth house. Just give me a moment. Okay, so just saying this to make sure everybody's awake. Please, everybody, pay attention. Part of fortune in the fourth house, then we're going to do part of fortune in the fifth house because she has a little bit of both. This person needs a sense of home, root, security, stability to be totally happy. This does not mean that they need a house to call a home, but they do need an ideal of a home, an atmosphere that they can feel is solid and solidly behind them. And it's funny because that's how Capricorn is. Capricorn kind of wants to really know. Capricorn don't want to, oh, I'll get back to you. They don't really. I know we're not talking about Capricorn, but this is still the fourth house. This is part of fortune in the fourth house of home, and Capricorn is kind of like the same way. Once he feels at home, this person can go on to find fulfillment in the 10th house professional identity. So in other words, they got to have that. They got to have that sense of home before they can get on with their career. So that is, now they're mixing Cancer with Capricorn, just like I keep trying to tell you. Because Capricorn rules the 10th house. These people are usually very patriotic with strong feelings for home, homeland, and parents. This person will be wealthy in the last third of their life. So you figure it out. You say, how old do most people live? Look, if we said 90, which most people don't live to 90, then you go 1 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, and that would be the 60 to 90. But if you want to say 70, 80, you can do it that way. Now, part of fortune in the fifth house. This person has creative and emotional energies overflowing. They need to express these, like we said, in your third house and your fifth house, because that's, and finds great satisfaction in creative or artistic creativity. So this person is also an artist. They also create. So you can even see sometimes that type of person in entertainment or performing in front of people, because this is definitely a social person. This person is attracted to adventurous enterprises. This person has luck with speculations and with children. This person has strong abilities in creative fields of art, drama, theater, music, literature, and invention. Just like I said from Aquarius. This person needs to pour himself into what he is doing. They need appreciation and applause. And I believe that's what that man said about your numerology as well. All right. So we got both of those. So really, did really, like I said, I'm going to simplify this. So part of fortune in Aries, is this person is driven. And then part of fortune in Taurus, they're strong. So you have to figure you got a bull and a ram coming at you. What are you going to do? So that's what this person is. So we are going to do part of fortune in Saturn. Because once again, Saturn rules Capricorn. Part of fortune in Saturn. Let me just look at this really quick. Okay, yeah. So part of fortune is conjunct to Saturn. So let's read it. If Saturn is conjunct to the part of fortune, the potency of the positive attributes of Saturn will be enhanced. Well, Saturn is going to be the boss. Saturn wants to set the standards, and Saturn really wants to know. And Saturn don't want you passing A if you're not supposed to pass A. The person with this conjunction will have a serious approach to life with a sense of determination. So this is a bull coming at you like a train. What the heck are you going to do? I feel sorry for anybody who really pisses this person off. I feel sorry. With a sense of determination to fulfill their destiny, a sense of responsibility to the world, like I told you. And that sounds like an angel. I keep trying to tell you, they come here to help. Both Benjamin Franklin and George Washington had these conjunctions. And they said that this person would be very patriotic. Patriotic. I'm a patriot. I think, well, that's close enough. All right, so very interesting, very interesting. But it doesn't stop there, because we have to go back to, well, let's do your fifth house before we do your fourth house. So now you can already tell this person, because the fifth house is all about fun and entertainment and travel and taking risk and love and romance and going on. So this person is unique in that they do want romance and love and stuff like that, but they may not necessarily want it to be, say, very serious. But they want to know that it's there, because that's what Saturn is saying. Because if they really wanted it to be very serious, you would see Juno in the fifth house. Because the fifth house is really just about love. It's not necessarily about commitment. It's about love and stuff like that. But Juno is very serious. But it's in the fourth house. But it's kind of like this person is saying, well, Saturn is saying, yeah, we do want it serious. We do want it kind of serious. But Juno is saying, but it's got to be family oriented. Like, you either come with my family or you can't have me. So that's why Juno's in the fourth house. So she kind of wants it serious, but it's kind of on, it's on a whatever that word is, on a condition. But she's serious about it, because you got the bull right there. The bull is very serious about it. And the bull also, Taurus also rules the second house, which is your finances and your possessions. And that's where her Aquarius is. So now we can move on finally to the sixth house, which is about healing. And wow, that's your sun sign. So your Gemini, multitasking. Gemini's motto is I think. They're the type of person that stands for what they think. Multitasking, communications in the sixth house. And then she's got Mercury, which rules Gemini. So this is going to be significant significant communication. But Virgo is the sixth house of home. We're still dealing with the home. Healing, health, and healing and service. Could even be like service, any type of service, including military service. And again, you see animals, because animals are usually in your fourth house or your sixth house. Can even be your eighth house or your 12th house. It deals with animals. So once again, Gemini rules your third house, where Pisces is, and that's your true north node, or what you should be working on in this life. So once again, you got this. You still got that Gemini or twins or that thing going on, but it's based on family, which is Cancer, and then based on spirituality, which is Pisces. And the moon used to rule Pisces, but now the moon rules Cancer, and now Neptune rules Pisces. So she's really got a really unique motherly, nurturing, spiritual, psychic thing going on with family first, but she could also have it in her relationship. But she's also trying to help the community. So, like I said, this really is, whether she knows it or not. But it almost is like a Mother Mary. Like this is really a community-minded person. She's really trying to save the world. And sun sign Gemini is going to be a great communicator. Plus with Mercury right there, great community. That's a communication planet. She may be even really good with, like, when you be seeing like people to figure out the internet and area, because I'm like a computer nerd, but even now at this point I'm not as active as I used to be. Like earlier days, I would really be really good with all that electronic stuff. Now I'm not really into it. But you see some people, even females, and they do it. They'll do they do their own editing. They do everything. It's like a female. Like things have changed. Because I remember, like I came up, they didn't want to touch stuff like that. Anything they would be like, get a man to do it. Anything like that, they wouldn't. They just want to press the button and start talking, and then you figure it out. Whereas now you got females that you got 14-year-old girls that play Eddie Van Halen. When I was coming up, only Eddie Van Halen could play Eddie Van Halen. Nobody alive could really play Eddie Van Halen. Now you got girls on YouTube playing, like 14 years old, playing Eddie Van Halen. This is crazy. So she's that type of person when it comes especially to like electronic stuff and stuff like that. Maybe even with music. Some people like really go like all the instruments Prince could play. Prince could play so many different instruments. And because that's in the sixth house, it's all for healing and service. And that's why I said even when you see somebody touring around the world with the military, stuff like that. Seventh house. Seventh house, again, is your house of relationships, partnerships. It could be legal matters, peace and karma. And then you have the family there again. And they have 7, which is Mars. Now Mars's energy can be combative, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be strong energy. Because we've already proven this person has a strong intensity for family. And then you see love there too. So once again, the guy that wants her, the guy that's gonna win her hand, he's got to be a family man. He could forget it. Because I was listening to that man and he said, "Oh, you may have met some guys, and but it didn't work out for whatever reason." But the reason is because the guy has got to really be family minded. Because you're family minded. And then you have the vertex cross, which is going into your 8th house on the border again with love and 8th house. So the vertex cross usually means this is where you're going to have a significant meeting or a significant event in your life. And Leo is right there, so it might even be with a Leo. It might be, or at least with a bold person. And for some reason, they are blowing up your area with the number 29. So that's really like what we call the lucky number for you. I got a friend of mine. This is Evie. Evie is being blessed like cause you could listen to her. I talk about her sometime out here. She has her own channel, but it's Eve space E. And I wanna say it the way she says it, because I don't wanna make it sound a certain way. So she says she always knew. She always knew, but I helped her see it better. Like I helped her see it more clearly, but she always knew. But it took her a while to really open up. But once she did, she's like a non-stop. She's like that thing I'm talking about, that train you can't stop. And right now, everything in her life is just getting better and better. So she's really talking about it. And she said it is all connected to twin flame. And that's why we just got finished talking about Gemini, because Gemini is the twins. So that's why I thought I'd show that, because like I told everybody, everything is divine timing. All right, now I was getting ready to do something. You're going to give me one second. Okay, we're going to natal numerology. Just give me a second. I got to open up another window. And this page takes a little while to load, so just give it time. All right, number 29, conflict between the souls. So that's the conflict number. So because they're doing it so much, I'm just going to tell you, everybody's on a twin soul journey, whether you know it or not. And this person didn't ask me anything about twin or twin flames, which is why I haven't really been talking that much about it. But just with Eve coming at the same time, and she's definitely talking about twin flame submission. because she went through a lot. Her twin is a nut job. He's always on my channel disliking me because of her. He's a weirdo. But it's all a twin flame journey. It's like everybody's on a journey one way or another. He just has to learn how to mature a little bit and accept whatever he's supposed to accept from the universe, and he doesn't want to do it. But that's normal for twin flame. It's normal to fight the universe and be mad at everybody and curse out people like me and all that. It's just normal, but you still got to get through it and grow up. All right, so that number 29 means that the struggle of the soul. The vertex cross can have to do with your twin soul, and it's right at your soul house, which is the 8th house. So I'm kind of assuming this guy is going to have something to do with Leo, and then Lilith is there too, retrograde. Now, to really understand your soul house, you're going to have to read that form, because there's no way I can talk, but to really understand it, it has everything. Like right now I'm dealing with a 8th house matter, because I'm dealing with an insurance company. This has to do with insurance company, debt, and it all ties into your past life. Like your relationship with your twin soul could end you in a legal situation, or if you work a job, your twin flame situation could end you in a meeting. And you think it's just a regular job meeting, but it's not. It has to do directly with the twin. Because I've been there. I used to work with my twin. So these are things you have to really understand. And I do videos to speak on things like that. And like I said, when people have questions, like if I've done your chart or whatever, if you have questions that are in the chart, they are in the chart. I did speak on it. If you have further questions, everybody, we all have to respect. Everybody has time. Everybody has things. So I can't just keep talking, because I have to be compensated, because I did already talk about it. So that's common sense. We all have time. We all have bills to pay. We all have things to do in life. That's why the archangels teach you karma. It's give and receive. It's not somebody just keep answering all these questions and nothing's coming back. So it's just common sense. Like karma, common sense. So when that's done, then I can help out more. But it's not as difficult as we make it. It's just that we want to understand it intellectually, and sometimes you won't. Like I said, I'm very proud of Evie, because she would do videos. She wouldn't even come on camera, and sometimes she would cry, and then she would put the video up, and then she would take the video and put it on unlisted or private. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she came on. She was on camera more. She's telling everybody her Facebook page and everything. She's been running ever since. Because that's what the universe will do for people that listen. If you work with the universe, everything will get better. So so you got a lot of 9-2 and 2 9s, and that's really about you got to work with that your twin soul. And I'm just gonna let you know that it's normal to think, oh, I can't be with him because he doesn't do this. I can't be with him because he doesn't do that. But the bottom line is, you're supposed to be helping him. He's supposed to be helping you. It's a journey that y'all both need each other, and you're not going to be complete as far as the universe is concerned until you both accept that. You two need each other, so we got to get humble and get communication going. Because again, that's communication. The Gemini is the twins, and it's the communication sign is Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So that's kind of what the universal message is to you in these areas. That you gotta deal with that conflict between your twin soul. And again, I don't know you personally. I don't know who the soul is and all that, but I know what I'm seeing. And the more we get into it, the more it's gonna become evident. I already know that because I know what I'm seeing. So now we have to slow down again. And even the number 13 is the number of test. And it's funny you got this 20 degree there, because the 20 degrees is usually solar ascension, and Leo is a sun sign. So again, there's really only two choices. That's why they give you the Old Testament, the New Testament. The Old Testament represents the darkness, the womb, the divine feminine, where everything comes out of that womb. The New Testament represents the light, or solar ascension. That's why Jesus has a star in the east. They call Jesus the morning star. In Malachi chapter 4, the last book of the Old Testament, they say the S-U-N, the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N. They're talking about solar ascension. No one comes to the Father but through me. So you can only get to the Father or fat her. You can only get to the fat her or Father through the Son, S-U-N, or solar ascension. These are the mysteries of the kingdom. Matthew chapter 3. The Bible tells you that when Jesus spoke to the masses, he was just giving them information. But when he spoke to his disciples, he gave them revelation of what he was talking about. So you can take it any you want to. I'm not telling you what to believe, but I'm just trying to help you where you're at in the universe. So what happens with the twin flame, because the darkness is the mother, the light is her son. But the darkness is the moon, represented by the moon, the divine feminine, and the sun is represented by the sun, the divine masculine. And the moon is called sin, S-I-N. That's why they tell you you're born in sin, because you're going to keep reincarnating. Like when you die, you go up to the moon, and you come back down with a new memory. Your memory's been swiped or whatever. Now you're living again. And I know you might not know that or believe that, but even Jesus said that John the Baptist was Elijah, which means reincarnation. Now, if you need to know more about moon soul reincarnation or lunar soul reincarnation, look it up on YouTube, and you'll begin to see how it operates. But I'm only explaining it to you in your chart because I see it right at those critical areas. So if anybody wants to, like when you're with your twin flame, that's why you try to connect. But don't get me wrong, because you may connect with your twin flame and it could be a living hell. Because this really is about submission. And that's what Eve is just saying. At the same time I'm talking to you, Eve hits me. Me and her hardly ever talk. And as the first email she hit me when she's real happy because her life is going great. And she's asking me, you want to be with you want a partnership with this and that? And I'm like, right now, this insurance company, I'm burnt out. I really can't make no decisions on nothing right now. So then she sent me another email talking about surrendering. So I guess she's telling me, well, this is just part of the surrender. And she's right, because like my twin flame has been all over this. All over this. Even literally, my twin flame's name is Rosa, or Rose. Right before the accident, when all hell broke loose, when I turned on my computer, guess what the picture was? Because every time I turn on my computer, some type of picture. For about 3 days straight, it was a rose. And that number 22 keeps popping up all over the place. It's a twin flame number. All kind of stuff. But I've gotten used to it. It's kind of like you're somewhere and flies are always flying around. You're pissed off at first. You're swatting them. You're trying to kill them. But you finally realize you're out here in the jungle, out here wherever, and you're going to have bugs flying around you. So that's how I look at the whole twin flame thing. But it could be submission. I'm not saying that it's not, because almost every time I've had some type of car trouble, she's always been around. That's nothing new. You know, supernaturally or whatever you want to say. But she's always been around. Or even literally. So I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, what can I do about it? I don't, we don't talk. I don't see her. I don't work with her no more. We don't see each other. But you got to trust that the universe is doing what it's doing. Now, I'm telling you all this because you got the number 29, which is twin soul struggle. So that's what you're going through. Because you're gun-ho for family and helping. And I remember a church woman. She was known for getting up and anything for the church, she's ready to do. Anything to help the people, she's ready to do. But her family would say, like her husband and her son would say, oh, this woman will go out and save the world, but she won't even save her own household. But you don't seem to have that problem according to your reading. But some people do. They so quick to run outside and say with the church, and they want everybody to see how wonderful they are. But in their internal relationship, they're terrible. And it's up to me to really tell the truth. Just like I had to tell a guy I was talking to on the phone, you think you're pushing me up against a thing, but you're actually messing with your salvation. He's like, oh, I'm not worried about my salvation. My salvation is clear. I started going, are you a Christian? That really blew that man's mind. He wasn't expecting me to say that shit. Are you a Christian, sir? I'm a Christian. I'm happy to admit I'm a Christian. What about you, sir? Now, but I understand the metaphysics of Christianity. Like Jesus said, it's mysteries. I understand the mysteries, thanks to God. So that's what the twin soul thing is doing. So that is the message I'm getting so far. That you can't run away from it. Because most people do want to run away from it because they don't want, well, I don't like this person. This person is what I think. Or I'm not ready for whatever you're thinking. And that's why even in your 4th and 5th house, you saw, I mentioned that. All right, so that's the number 29. You got the number 40, so we're going to take the number 40 natal numerology as well. The number 40 is the earthly twin flame suffering, which causes the soul to see higher understanding and or twin soul unification. And that's what Eve is saying. Let me read what she says. And acknowledging my twin journey is here to bring me to my knees in submission. This will be my next video. So y'all can look forward to Eve E. EVE space E. All capital letters. And acknowledging my twin journey is here to bring me to... She said, I guess she meant to say I'm acknowledging my twin journey. My twin flame, twin soul journey is here to bring me to my knees in submission. This will be my next video. And then she goes on to tell me that I really helped her in those ways. So that's what you're saying. Now this person says, thank you. What is this? All right, give me a second. Give me one moment because somebody sent me an email with an inquiry, so I want to take care of that. It's funny, the person sent me an email. She works with me and Eve. I think because I don't really remember, but I did some work for her, and she works with Eve. It's kind of funny. Like, it's just the power. It's the power of Eve coming around. The divine feminine at the end of the day. Alright, so we'll continue. So again, let's do the number 40 again. Earthly twin flame suffering, which causes the soul to see higher understanding and our twin soul unification. So that's what you see Eve is going through right now. And that's what she's saying. So these are all messages for you from the universe. It's all divine timing, just like I keep trying to tell people. So that's all in your soul house. So you can't say somebody's lying or making it up. It's all in your soul house, that 8th house and all that. Well, in that area, that's where the 29 started. Then it started going into the 40, a little over. But it all started, all of this started at that, right at the soul house. All right. So, well, I was saying about soul unification. So you got the sun. So I don't know if this guy is a Leo or not. And if, you know, he may have Leo significantly in his chart. I wouldn't know if I didn't see the chart. It might be sun sign Leo, but it might be Leo insignificantly in this chart. But you will have an important meeting which has to do with your soul. And I'm kind of assuming by what I'm seeing, this guy has some connection to Leo. Or even the 5th house, who knows? So that's your soul. So that's your 8th house is the soul house, past life house, twin flame, twin soul, past life, money, sex, lust, primordial activity, animals, the underworld, shared resources, other type of money. Because money's always connected to twin souls. Always to twins. So that's going on in your 8th house with Leo. I'm just going to say Lilith, well, she's 13, so you know this is going to be a purging or a testing. We just said that we did that with the numerology. But what Lilith is going to do, she's going to intensify energy at the end of the day. So it's going to be that lion-like energy, whatever. But that's that Leo energy. She intensifies, but she's also going to intensify the 8th house. And that's why you may have had really, I'm just going to say, hard to explain experiences that you may be aware of, and you may have done that because you see it here. Now, like I had a female one time. She was out of her mind. I mean, she is really nuts. And the first thing I'm gonna tell you is calm down. Like, you guys should spend more time on my spiritual channel because I really talk. It's called the Spiritual Channel on YouTube. I talk about what I'm going through. And just today, I sent the email to one of the leaders of Blazing Holy Fire Ministry. If you've ever seen them, they're on YouTube and they have the Blazing Holyfire.com, I think it's called. I've known her for years. And so I was trying to tell her what I was going through. And all she said right back, she said, be strong. We'll pray for you shortly. So, but the main thing she said was be strong. Like, you know where you're at. You know this is spiritual warfare. So don't let it get to you. Be strong. So you have to know these things. And this is why it's good to get your natal chart and stuff like that. And this is why I'm trying to make something perfectly clear to people, because things are going to change. And I mean no disrespect. A lot of people run. Where are you running to? Where are you running to? Why don't you be like Eve? Eve is one of the most strongest people I know. She's always telling me how much I encouraged her, but she's encouraged me too. She's not running nowhere. She's not scared. She'll go through the process, and she gets stronger and better. It's amazing. So it's not to run. It's like people like me are here for a reason. Just like this person, this chart I'm doing right now, she was sent. She's here for a reason. But you got to get the whole understanding of your purpose of being here. And I try to do it in the chart. I try to do it in other ways that I offer to help. And I make it really affordable. But then once we do that and we move on to the next stage, that's another order. That's not just going to keep coming back, because other people need help too. And I got to pay bills. So I help as much as possible. And then that person should be able to move on with what they're doing. And like I said, Eve is not the only person I help like that. It comes to times when a person wants to stand up. Now, you got people that are just running because they just want to know where the twin flame is. They don't care nothing about the soul. They don't care nothing about the 8th house. All they want to know is where my twin is. And they haul ass. Like, they'll go somewhere quick. So they go somewhere where somebody talks a really good game, rips them off of a lot of money, and then they still not with their twin. Or they meet their twin and it collides again because they're not really ready to meet. Like, the universe will bring you your twin, even though you ain't ready, but that's part of the stages. That's why most people need to study stages of twin flame. It's a video on YouTube. It's only like 7 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. The stages of twin flame, so that you know the stages, so that when you start to see them, you can understand it. So now you're trying to go into your 9th house, which is your higher self house, but you have Vesta there. Now, she's a feminine energy. She represents the home too, but she also represents the heater and the furnace in the home. And she also represents that fiery energy that's in each and every one of us. But again, when you're talking about twin flame, it'd be apropos that she's right here in this area. Again, with 29. And with your vertex cross right next to Venus, it's 29, 21. So that could even be a number that's giving you information about your twin soul union. And again, in the free report, you have all the links to numerology. So you'll get that free report. You can tap on those links. Now, going into your 9th house. So they're bringing energy over from your 8th house into your 9th house, which is apropos. Because your 9th house is really about your higher self. Your higher self will always be you and your twin back to being one. See, the spirit created a soul to enter our material world. Our material world is 3rd dimensional. And then that soul split. Yin, yang, masculine, feminine, on and on and on. So your twin is here. Now, because we're at the end of this age, more and more people are having twin soul experiences. That's why if you talk to some people about twin soul or twin flame experience, they will think you're crazy and they will disassociate talking to you. But the more people that are modern, they know what's happening for real. Everybody knows. Like, to me, it's common knowledge because I've been through it. And on YouTube, it's thousands. It may be literally hundreds of thousands of people that are experiencing this twin soul, twin flame phenomenon. But they're considered weird by other people that don't know what you're talking about or don't want to know, and I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't make sense to me. So in your ninth house is about higher education, foreign travel, foreign matters. You got Pluto right there, so you're dealing with eighth house matters, maybe even with alien spirits, foreign travel, and everything is deep. And then you got Virgo there. Once again, Virgo deals with what? Healing, health, service, higher self. And that service can be service from helping people to a gym, working at a gym, or military. And with that Pluto, if it was military, it couldn't even be top secret stuff. Because that's what Pluto was, the eighth house of secrecy. And the eighth house and the 12th house deal with secrets and esoteric stuff, metaphysical stuff, and enemies as well. So that's your ninth house. Now your 10th house, so they let you know, they put Libra there. That's their way of telling you that your 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn, who is in your first house, that your 10th house has to do with relationships. But Libra can also be justice, the scales, karma, the legal system, the court system. So that's your career in any of those areas. Even as crazy it is, it even relationship, like even like a relationship counselor. There's many possibilities of Libra in the 10th house, but that is your ruled by Cancer, ruled by Capricorn, excuse me, and it's your career and reputation. And then you have Pluto there, which is past life money. And right now, both Pluto and Venus are retrograde right now. So that may even have something to do, be affecting your life in different ways. So we'll talk about the retrogrades in a moment. And like I said, Jupiter is always going to be connected to relationships, because the whole JU means marriage. A lot of people don't know that. The whole JU actually means marriage when you're dealing with natal definitions. Now, you go into your 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius. Aquarius is in your second house of money and possession. So this is how you're making some of your money. And once again, Scorpio is there. So they're going to keep pushing you back to your 8th house, which is the unknown. And they got the moon there. Now, I already told you about the moon and reincarnation. So you're into all of that stuff. It's in you. Whether you know about it or don't, it's in you. And that's why, like, if you understand the Catholic religion, it's so many different levels to the Catholic religion. It's almost amazing. Because they can get deep. They can get deep into mysticism and stuff like that. Because that's basically what all this stuff is right here. It gets deep into mysticism. So this is a person who's associated with friends, because that's the 11th house, ruled by Aquarius. They're associated with friends, associations, and groups. That's the 11th house. But they're able to make finances out of there, because Aquarius is in the second house as finances. And then they also got finances going on there. Who knows? Like at some point in your life, you may really help souls get together and marry if you're not already doing it. Because she didn't say too much. And that's the first thing I look at when people contact me. Are they asking me about twin soul or are they not? Because some people don't ask me about twin soul. Most do, but some don't. And like I said, if I see it on the chart, I will speak, but I usually always see it in the chart. So she's really got it going on. And because she has the moon and Neptune, so she's connected to Cancer and Pisces in 11th house. So she can make a lot of money if she hasn't already. Because you got to pay your bills, is what I keep trying to say. And the archangels know that. Like I said, once I met the archangels, they changed my whole world around. I'm so thankful for meeting the archangels. And the universe wants you to be blessed, wants you to help people. But they have to understand universal law. It's give and receive. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And that's why these are the ones that are running from channel to channel talking about where's my twin. Or they give to the wrong people. They get to somebody that's really not helping them. See, like Eve has become her own. I mean, she's already, that's why I want to make sure everybody understands. I'm not taking credit for anything. But Eve has become her own businesswoman. But she does give me credit. I'll read it right now, just so you know I'm not making this up. Going right back to the email. She says, I'm acknowledging my twin journey is here to bring me to my knees in submission. This will be my next video. You, talking about moi, me, you have been such a tool, really, an ultimate support system. She said, I remember. She's basically said, I will remember this always. She said, I do contact you on my back and forth days when I'm weak because I do see you as a teacher, master, guide. So, it is what it is. So take this seriously. Don't run from it. I am honestly trying to help you. I try to keep the lowest, most affordable prices for everybody. I try to work with people. But you have to really take this seriously. Start working on your calling. And I show you how to do it. And I build everybody up. Because like I said, I could just sit here and say, no, come to me. I tell everybody, get your angel card deck. You know, you can do your own reading if you want to. So I'm trying to help people. So I don't have time for anybody just coming any other way that I just got finished saying. Because, like I said, I could have died in that car wreck. You understand what I'm saying? I could have lost my life. It's not time to be out here playing games. You know, if you want help, God has put people like me out here to help you. Respect the help. Be thankful God is trying to help you understand why you're here and your real purpose. See, we don't sell fake religion that was given to you by the powers that be to keep you submitted. And then you're giving all your resources to these pastors and these elders, and all they're doing is taking your money and flying all over the world and building mansions and stuff. So we expose them for the liars that they are. You have to understand the real Christians got killed off by the powers that be. The real Christians like me, metaphysical people and stuff like that, they killed them off. The Gnostics and stuff like that, they killed them off. And then gave you this pagan religion. But people are waking up. And that's why I do have some respect for the Catholic Church in that regard, because they give you the other books of the Bible. They don't just give you the 66 that the powers that be gave you. They give you the other books of the Bible that are our books of the Bible. And the Catholics will talk about, some of the Catholics, especially the mystical ones, they will talk about things like I'm talking about right now. So that's what this person is doing in the 11th house. And then they're taking that energy, and your 11th house is created to your 8th house, and your 8th house is created to your 4th house. Let's do that again. Your 11th house of friends and associations and all that, where you'll be making finances, helping these people. And that's ruled by Aquarius. In your 2nd house, that's also connected to your 8th house, ruled by Scorpio. And Cancer's there, so that's going to connect you to your 4th house. And your 4th house is where the Aries energy is, where Juno says you may find yourself in a relationship with somebody that's in Aries. So they're giving you Leo and they're giving you an Aries for some reason. But again, if you ever got that person's natal chart, I could give you more information. But all this is planned out. And all of it's coming through your subconscious. You probably dream about it. And then, now that you understand that, now you can fully understand your 12th house. Whether it be church, prison, dysfunctional situations, secrets, enemies, alcoholism, sexualism, prostitution. This is all the 12th house. The mental ward. You have been given that centaur, which is Sagittarius, to heal them. Just like when Jesus was dying on the cross, that centurion or that centaur, which means a healer, he took that spear and stabbed Jesus in the side. Well, everybody that knows the Bible knows that Jesus' side represents the bride or his wife, his church, because Eve was pulled out of Adam's side, out of his rib. And that's why he stabbed Jesus. And then what happened when he stabbed Jesus' side or his wife or his rib? Water and blood came out. Why? Because the blood of the Lamb saves us, and that water represents us. And it also represents the washing or the salvation. But it also represents, for those who really obey that Messiah, it represents solar ascension. That's why at the cross, at the 6th hour, it went totally dark. Now I don't know if you're going to call that a lunar ascension. Probably not. Well, you would call it a solar eclipse because it went totally dark. There was no sun for 3 hours. And then all of a sudden, the sun comes back out and Jesus cries out and says it's done, because that's solar ascension. So I hope I made sense to everybody. This will conclude these two aspects. I will forward this to the person. This is Gat for Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. If anyone is interested in any of these other services you see or hear out here, you can contact me. It's also all the information in the description box. And please don't feel that I'm limited. It's a whole lot of things I do. Doesn't hurt to ask. God bless.